It begins with a lens, a single frame that freezes a moment in royal life, a wave, a smile, a hand placed gently on a shoulder. To the casual eye, it looks simple, ordinary. But within those seconds lies the quiet battleground that defines the modern British monarchy. For in the 21st century, power is no longer defended by armies or governed by decree. It is fought and won in the court of public perception, a realm more volatile, more ruthless, and more enduring than any political conflict. And every royal, from the sovereign to the spares, must play this invisible war with precision. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. In the age of the camera, monarchy has become performance. Once protected by walls and ceremony, the crown now lives in the digital glare of permanent scrutiny. Every gesture is a message, every silence a headline. What began as spectacle, coronations, balcony waves, parades, has become an intricate choreography of survival. The monarchy must appear timeless yet modern, accessible yet mysterious, human yet perfect. It must endure scandal, grief, and division while never appearing shaken. It is, in every sense, the oldest brand in the world, one that cannot afford to falter. This invisible war, fought daily between royal intention and public interpretation, has no battlefield and no ceasefire. It unfolds in the spaces between images and words, where meaning is shaped not by truth, but by perception. The monarchy's survival depends not on what it does, but on what it seems to do. The Queen understood this better than anyone. For 70 years, she ruled not only as sovereign, but as symbol. Her stillness, her silence, her unchanging composure became her greatest armor. In that restraint lay strength. But in this new era, silence is no longer enough. King Charles III, a man long accustomed to being misread, now faces the challenge of reasserting meaning in a world that distrusts it. Every expression is dissected, his gestures analyzed for weakness or ambition. When he walks through crowds, each nod and glance becomes public theater. For a king who spent decades waiting, watched, and judged, this new role demands something paradoxical: to be seen more than ever, yet understood less. To lead not just a nation, but its narrative. Beside him stands Queen Camilla, once the embodiment of controversy, now the quiet victor of public rehabilitation. Her journey is perhaps the monarchy's most profound example of perception transformed. Once vilified, she now represents stability. Not because the public forgot, but because she endured. Time, consistency, and dignity did what no defense could. They rewrote the story. Her acceptance proves that in this invisible war, perception can be conquered, but only through patience and the long passage of years. And yet, as the king and queen adapt, a new generation fights a different front. Prince William and Catherine have become the monarchy's strategic face, polished, deliberate, emotionally intelligent. Their battles are not fought through interviews or statements, but through images. The glance of reassurance at a memorial, the playful moment with a child, the handhold that signals humanity amid grandeur. Each photograph of them serves a purpose: to remind the public that the monarchy is not just heritage, but continuity, that even in turbulence, the line holds. Still, this war has casualties. Every image, however perfect, invites comparison. Every act of warmth opens the door to accusation, of calculation, of competition, of hypocrisy. The same media that builds the image of grace delights in dismantling it. For every moment Catherine embodies the ideal of royal poise, another headline will question her authenticity. For every show of William's compassion, another will call it strategy. The monarchy's greatest success, its ability to seem human, is also its greatest vulnerability. The same dynamic plays out across the wider family. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, long known for their humility and steady service, now serve as quiet counterweights to controversy. Their public image thrives on contrast, the ordinary amid the extraordinary. And yet, even they must navigate perception carefully. A single misstep, a misread expression, can unravel years of composure. Because in this age, perception no longer reflects reality. It replaces it. For others, the war has been less forgiving. Prince Andrew's fall from grace is not just a personal catastrophe, but a case study in perception's merciless power. Long before any judgment in court, public opinion rendered its verdict. Titles stripped, duties lost, his place within the royal narrative vanished overnight. It was not the crown that exiled him. It was the people. The monarchy, sensing the shift, acted accordingly. In the war of perception, morality must not only be performed, but believed. The same truth haunts Prince Harry and Meghan. Their departure from royal life was not merely an act of rebellion, but a declaration of independence from the monarchy's carefully constructed image. They sought to control their own story, to break free from the invisible war. But the irony is cruel. In stepping outside the system, they became even more captive to it. Every interview, every documentary, every silence fuels the same cycle of scrutiny. Their image, once radiant with promise, is now refracted through the same lens of contradiction that haunts every royal figure. Within the palace, the challenge is constant: how to manage this war without appearing to fight it. The monarchy's communications offices function like command centers, balancing tradition and trend, managing narratives with surgical precision. Every photograph released, every caption chosen, every engagement announced, it all serves a strategic rhythm. There is no spontaneity, only the illusion of it. Yet despite this orchestration, control remains an illusion. A single misjudged phrase or photograph can ignite a global conversation that takes days, even weeks, to extinguish. The Christmas carol service at Westminster Abbey, a seemingly serene tradition, has become a perfect example of this invisible war in action. When the Preston wife hosts it each year, every detail, from the guest list to the lighting, becomes a test of perception. Who is invited? Who is missing? How does the seating reflect the family's hierarchy? In these questions lies the monarchy's modern reality. Nothing is private, nothing is innocent, and everything is message. Even the smallest details become symbols. A piece of jewelry worn on a particular day recalls lineage and loyalty. A glance between family members can launch 1,000 theories. When William or Catherine walk a few steps apart at an engagement, rumors of tension explode. When they walk together, whispers of calculation follow. The crown's every movement is seen through the prism of interpretation, a reminder that in this war, truth matters less than story. And yet, despite it all, the monarchy endures. Perhaps because this war, although relentless, gives it purpose. The scrutiny keeps it alive. The fascination ensures relevance. In the absence of mystery, perception becomes mythology, a new kind of faith in an age that has lost its old ones. The public may claim to doubt the monarchy, to resent its privilege, to question its cost. Yet they continue to watch, to comment, to care. And in caring, they sustain it. For the royals, this dynamic is both salvation and prison. Their power no longer comes from divine right or political authority, but from narrative control. They must be symbols of continuity in a world that is changing before their eyes.
Longer believes in permanence. They must be flawless, yet human, distant, yet intimate. It is an impossible equation, one they solve day after day through ritual, repetition, and relentless discipline. But perception, like power, can shift overnight. A poorly timed gesture, a single word, a photograph that captures exhaustion instead of grace. These moments, small and human, can unravel the illusion the monarchy has spent generations perfecting. And so every royal learns early the sacred rule of survival. Never let them see too much, because the more the world knows, the less it believes. In private, they must feel the weight of it, the quiet exhaustion of performance, the awareness that sincerity itself has become strategy, that to smile is to survive and to falter is to fall. The invisible war does not end when the cameras leave. It continues in whispers, in meetings, in the silent recalibration of public image. The monarchy must not only maintain dignity, it must make dignity look effortless. And yet, for all its strain, there is beauty in this burden. The royal family's ability to endure, to adapt, to rise, to rebuild, has always rested on its instinct for storytelling. It turns tragedy into duty, scandal into lesson, loss into legacy. In that alchemy lies its true resilience. The monarchy does not deny the world's gaze, it absorbs it, reshapes it, and returns it as something timeless. King Charles knows this well. His reign began not with triumph, but with mourning. His image, once contested, now leans on compassion. He has turned the narrative of waiting into one of preparation. His son, William, inherits not only the throne to be, but the unending vigilance of the spotlight. Catherine, through her composure, redefines royal femininity for a skeptical age. Camilla, once condemned, has become proof that public opinion can, with time, be softened, even reversed. Together, they do not fight perception, they feed it, gently, deliberately, shaping it to survive. Perhaps that is the ultimate paradox of monarchy in the modern world. It no longer rules the people, yet it depends on them entirely. It no longer commands power, yet it remains a vessel for meaning. Its strength lies not in what it is, but in what it represents, the enduring fantasy that somewhere, amid uncertainty and cynicism, there still exists something steady, graceful, and unbroken. The invisible war will never end. The crown will always walk that narrow line between myth and man, between image and truth. And for every headline, every controversy, every whispered rumor, it will continue, adjusting, adapting, surviving. For that is the secret of its longevity, not invincibility, but endurance, not perfection, but the performance of it. If you've made it this far, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Can the monarchy truly survive in an age where perception rules reality? Is its power still symbolic or purely theatrical? Share your views in the comments, and if you enjoyed this exploration of the unseen battles behind royal life, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Crownverse, where royal history lives on.